Hello and welcome to the Energy Connect studio at ADIPEC 2024. I'm delighted to have sitting next to me in the studio today, Friedrich Portner, the Chief Commercial Officer, Maritime and Shipping Cluster at AD Ports. Friedrich, thank you so much for being in the Energy Connect studio.
Well, thank you very much for inviting us.
Thank you. Can you start with a broad overview of SAFEEN Group and what it does within the AD Ports Group?
Oh, yes. Where to start? Actually, SAFEEN Group is really an integrated solution provider for the maritime and the shipping industry. So we are composed out of more than 15 companies, each of them dedicated to their field. And that's from shipping to offshore, to marine services, to agencies, and to repairs and dry docking. So it's really a broad portfolio of companies, which has been created 4 years ago. And since then, we've been growing. And today, we're an end-to-end solution provider in the maritime space. If a client, I would say, has any request in the maritime space, he should come to us because we will find the allocated solution.
That's a fantastic point. Now, you've also been expanding, and your strategic expansion, what kind of support can that offer to oil and gas as well as EPC clients?
Well, one reason why we expanded is really to offer an end-to-end solution to the client. And what does it mean? Actually, we're trying to reduce interfaces for the client, take over the project management so that we can actually solve the problems on behalf of the clients and help him be agile at the same time, very targeted to solve his problem. And this is why we expanded in niche products, but also in broader sectors to be able to offer an end-to-end solution to him.
Now, the offshore is where you have a unique model as well, where you've developed that. And can you share how this approach adds value to large-scale offshore and subsea projects, and especially within today's rapidly evolving and expanding energy landscape?
Yes. Well, especially in offshore and subsea, there has been a lot of projects recently. And one problem that clients are facing is to source basically the services. That's number one, but also to find the vessels. And coming to us, he can get that out of one hand. That means if you go, for example, to OFCO, he can get all the offshore logistic out of one hand, from the coordination of the supply chain of the trucks to the port, to the loading, to the heavy lift, to the storage. When he works with SAFEEN Subsea, where they're serving him on the subsea services, that means geotech, geophysics, ROV services, but also providing the vessel in SAFEEN Offshore. So all of these services can be found under the same umbrella, and we can bring the right experts all together under one roof and into one meeting to understand his problem, but also to find a solution for it.
Right. Now, SAFEEN Group specifically has undertaken a lot of collaborations and acquisitions in the recent time. What's your strategy behind that, and how does that sort of add value and help you navigate the changing market demands?
Well, as I mentioned, we grew very, very fast. And one would be a fool to believe that you can know everything everywhere. And for this reason, we have looked at partners that can really create a win-win situation with us. That means geographical knowledge or content knowledge. I'll give you an example. We have, for example, created a joint venture with Kazmunaygas in Kazakhstan for the Caspian Sea. We haven't been there. We had very limited local knowledge. They bring the local knowledge. We bring our expertise of subsea, of vessels, which they also have. But in combination, I think we provide a superior service. An alternative is, for example, SAFEEN Subsea, where it's a joint venture with NMDC and a collaboration where they have carved out and we have purchased their subsea division, where the knowledge is in that division. So we acquired that knowledge, but also had a platform to start from. And this is where we started on the knowledge base. And we can go on and on for these partnerships. So we always look for a win-win situation that can help us grow, but also help our partner grow.
Right. Now, sustainability and innovation, these are, I think, two key foundations of your strategy as well. How does that impact your evolving client needs and your product development? Like, for example, SAFEEN Green is a product that you have recently developed.
Yes. Well, in shipping or in offshore, we're in one of the oldest industry actually, and everybody would believe what is actually the change, what is the technological advancements that are happening, because it has been existing for so long. And one would be surprised how much they are. For example, we just acquired one of the largest tugs in the Middle East, an electric tug, similar to the electric cars. We're starting to innovate, or the industry is starting to innovate, and we're supporting that to develop the electric tugs. Actually, very beneficial for us, to be honest, because we are saving on the fuel at the same time doing something environmental for our world and for our next generation. And that's monetary beneficial, but also basically ecological. Another example is that you mentioned SAFEEN Green. There we have invested into a complete remote operating vehicle, which can do the work with less operational cost, but probably also much more precise. And hence we save on the cost. We can offer a superior product to our client, but also at a very competitive price. And so where there are these niches where we can invest into, we do that, and it's part of our strategy.
And finally, we are here at ADIPEC, the world's largest energy event. What are you looking forward to, and what are your expectations?
Well, I can see that this year is even busier than last year, let alone from the traffic to get here. But our expectation is obviously we have a lot of meetings with our clients to explain them how we are developing and how the industry is developing and how we can serve them. And we hope to use that as a platform, basically, for our future growth.
Friedrich, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much for being in the studio.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to follow us on our social media and on energyconnects.com. I'll be back with more studio interviews. Stay tuned.